Hello all and welcome, and I am the Realist Philosopher. And in this video, I'd like to talk about an article I came across entitled, Modern Dating Culture Has Turned Me Into a Bitch. By the way, the picture to the right that is really good looking, broad, the brunette, I don't think that's the writer. That's just a stock photo. I think the writer is probably a lot less attractive, which might have something to do with why she's such a bitch in the first place. But anyway, her name is Andrea Wesley, and maybe we'll check her out on Facebook later on, see if my theory about her being an old post-war broad is correct. But anyway, she's blaming modern dating culture on turning her into a bitch. Now, I have a different theory. I think that she was already a bitch, and she just got tired of it, and instead of hiding her bitchiness to try and snag a man, she saw, oh, hey, look, me trying to be nice and all that to, pull an old bait and switch on these guys ain't working. They're kind of seeing through my facade, so I might as well be myself anyway, because I'm not good enough at being a chameleon and trying to hide the fact that I'm a bitch. So I'm just going to be my bitch's self 100% all the time. That's my theory. Anyway, let's get to what she has to say, and this is from Bold. I used to make fun of a broad that wrote on Bold. Maybe she still does. I believe her name was Amy Horton. Amy Horton. Yeah. Another one of these post-war broads complaining about why she can't get a man. Oh, she don't know why. Oh, I don't know why I can't get a man. I'm 46 years old. I've only had 150 sex partners. I don't know what the problem is. All right, so let's jump to the article here. Believe it or not, once upon a time, I was just a caring, optimistic girl looking for love in my life. Yeah, okay. I minded my P's and Q's, showed my... she makes an effort to tell you it's genuine kindness. Yeah, I doubt that. I doubt that very much. If you feel the need to qualify your kindness with something like genuine, what that tells me is you're overcompensating, you're trying to convince us you are the typical liar, the bad liar that you can spot very easily because they're trying too hard to convince you of the truth. That's what I see here. Yeah, so then the fact that you need to tell us your kindness was genuine tells me that it was anything but. So that might have something to do with why the men weren't interested in you long term. My genuine kindness and enthusiasm and behave with grace with every guy I met. But she's really trying to sell herself pretty hard here, ain't she? Yeah. She's really trying to set up in our mind the fact that she was so great, so wonderful, it couldn't in any way, shape, or form be her fault that she's not able to find a man. It has to be modern society men. Men. It's men's fault. That's really what she's saying. One by one, my enthusiasm went from Taylor Swift sweet to burn all of your crap, Beyonce. Yeah. I'm literally over these douchebag guys. Wow. Wait. Let me tell you something. Me thinks that this is how she was already. Nothing changed. She just went from trying to hide the truth to, fuck it. Hiding the truth ain't working. Why put out the effort to try and be somebody else I'm not? Yeah. I'm literally over those douchebag guys. Any woman that can call men douchebag guys, I think that might be part of your problem. That make up the majority of our dating pool. Oh, is it? Wow. Wow, it's great. So, it's not her. The majority of the dating pool, which is every single guy out there, they're the problem. Her, single individual, no, not the problem. It's very interesting. I wasn't always a bitch. Sure you were. Of course you were. Come on. All that effort you made prior with those positive adjectives to try and convince us otherwise. Who you kidding? But modern dating culture made me this way. I'm a woman. I have no accountability for how I am. It's everyone else's fault. I have to become a bitch to survive this evil, cruel world that men created. So number one justification for why she is a bitch, became a bitch, yeah. Number one, the fish in the sea have turned into mutants in the sewer. Again, lady. Referring to men as mutants in a sewer, I'm thinking you're a feminist. I'm thinking that you're a feminist that's lacking self-awareness. You didn't think you were a bitch. Your idea of what a bitch is completely different from men's view of a bitch. Because I think that most men saw you as a bitch before you thought you were one. But you were one all along, really. It used to be that coming across good guys, or at least guys with actual normal manners, weren't so few and far between. Well, why didn't you snatch them up then? Because you're speaking from the first person here. You're talking about first-hand experiences that you had with these guys. When you came across them then, why didn't you snatch them up then? Let's say I'm at a flea market, right? And there's lots of good freaking deals. And I come across something that I know is worth 10 times, 100 times, 10,000 times more than the $3 the person is asking. I mean, I've hit on a jackpot. I have a knowledge of history. I have a knowledge of antiques. And I've come across something that's marked $3 and I know it's worth 30,000. What do? Do I go, yeah, let me get my $3 and buy it. Yeah, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. I have found the find of a lifetime at the flea market. People dream of having this kind of luck. Or do I say, I've noted the find of a lifetime. I'm gonna put off getting that. I'll come back next week. Or next year, because it's only in town once a year. Really? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so I came across these great guys, but I passed. And we all know why you passed, right? The cock carousel was calling you. The infinite variety of cocks. You couldn't resist, could ya? These days, you have to hike up Everest and nearly die of hypothermia before you come across a small glimmer of hope. How is it possible for so many players to exist at one time? Ugh! Well, you only see all these players because that's all that's approaching you, because the good guys are already taken. Or if there are any left, they're looking at you, this post-wall 30-something, maybe even 40-something broad, and saying, ugh, yeah, her eggs are dried up. There's no quality genetic material there, and even if there is, the eggs are so old. They gotta pop out with 3 arms. Or Down syndrome. Nah. I'm gonna look for a broad my own age or younger, okay? Yeah. It's amazing how the only thing you're seeing that you think is out there is just what you're seeing. Did you ever stop to think that the reason you're only seeing these guys is because these are the only guys that are approaching you, and the only reason that these are the only guys that are approaching you is because your sexual marketplace value has plummeted because you waited so long? Yeah, I guess not. Yeah. How's it possible for so many players to exist at one time? Well, the only people interested in you are the players who want to get with a cougar, right? Lovely. So she's become a bitch because the prospects have dried up. She passed over all these good guys earlier, these wonderful finds, because she wasn't quite ready to settle down. And now that she's ready, she's old and men don't want to have anything to do with her. She's pissed because good guys don't want anything to do with her. Yet another woman that doesn't know how the world actually works and lives in her own fantasies of how she wishes it were. Number 2, most guys aren't worth putting on pants for. You ever try wearing dresses? Too feminine! Getting ready for another date just to sit across from a guy who talks about my great ass and chest more than who I actually am a person. I think Bold needs to invest a little more time and effort into their editing. You mean who talks about my great ass and chest more than who I actually am as a person, makes me want to vomit in my $10 martini, which he's probably paying for, by the way. I'd rather sit at home in comfort, blissfully unaware of the jerk I'm not missing out on. Okay, so you've given up. So there could actually be some good guys left out there, but you're so jaded and so cynical that you wouldn't see them even if they came along. You're so bitter and angry from the past rejections in your life, even though you're all that in a bag of chips, that you won't even make an effort. But somehow it's Min's fault that you're such a bitch. No, I think it's your fault, sweetheart. Number 3. I like Netflix more than dealing with actual men. I don't know. I mean, I know what a bitch is. You don't need to outline and define a bitch to me. All these things that you're defining, yeah, this is how a bitch would think. You're not telling me anything I don't already know. But I guess this is instructive for people out there. But, you know, we all know when we run into a bitch, right? We don't need you to tell us how bitches think, all right? Who needs a boyfriend when I can sit braless with a bottle of wine and marathon through the new season of Orange is the New Black? I think I threw up in my mouth some. Anybody out there watch that show, by the way? It's atrocious. Atrocious! Is there a new season of that? I thought that thing got canceled. I didn't like it, by the way. Horrible, horrible. Just a bunch of lesbos behind bars going down on each other. And just, I didn't like it. You got the big, gigantic, tranny hairdresser. Oh, God. You got the blonde who was in there for, what was it she did? Some kind of drug dealing. She's a lesbo. They're all lesbos. It's a show that's about lesbians. Maybe your problem is you're a lesbian, honey, because if you like this show, that's right. No one. True love is just a button press away. Boy. She's pretty much telling us what bitches are. It's not hard to find out, to figure out why they're this way, right? Unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations of what men actually want. And then when they find out the truth, they can't accept it. Nor is there anything they can do about it, right? Because now they're 40. Oh, listen to this. Number 4. It's hard to believe good guys are still out there. In all honesty, well, they are out there, but they're really a lot younger than you are, so they're not interested in you. And the guys that are your age, they're either divorced and don't want to get married or be in a long-term relationship anymore because they've been ass raped by a woman, or they're players. And yeah, they're not interested in you in anything more than a booty call. We men know this. We know this. See, this is a problem with women. They think they're so smart. They think they're so freaking smart. They know everything. That's why they get upset when a man tries to explain something to them. They think they know it all. I know it all. You don't need to tell me. Condescend to me as I condescend to you. In all honesty, I've met so many douche canoes. She's got a very well-developed vernacular when it comes to downing men, that I'm starting to wonder if real and grown ass, and there's no space between the grown and ass, and there's 2 A's. Wow. Boy, this bold has some very, very low production value. You can't edit. Come on. It's not hard to read your own shit. Well, maybe it is hard for her to read her own shit. Anyway, I've met so many douche canoes, I'm starting to wonder if real and grown-ass men still exist. Are you out there? Well, what do you define as a good man? It's very unusual. I doubt this broad would know a good man if she saw one, so, you know. And I've talked about this before. If you lack virtue yourself, you're not likely to see it in others, so I don't think she could identify a good man if she met one. Hello, will real good guys please stand the hell up? Jeez. What do you bring to the table, sweetheart? You know, why would they stand up for you? What do you have to offer? You know, you pissed away, clearly you pissed away your youth. You told us you pissed away your youth yourself. You made it very clear you met good guys, you came across good guys, and you also made it very clear you just passed right over them because you thought you could find something better, right? This is the problem with feminism. It teaches women that there's always something better over the horizon. Don't settle. Don't settle at all. And before you know it, you're 50. Yeah, you didn't settle for anyone because you kept thinking there was something better over that horizon over there. No, there's not. When you find that $30,000 antique for $3 on somebody's little table of tchotchkes at a freaking flea market, you jump on it. You don't say, come back next week. I don't want to commit my $3 right now. I want to wait and see if I come across a better deal. Maybe I'll come across a tchotchke next year that's worth 50,000. Yeah. Talk about unrealistic expectations. Number 5. I'm sick of competing. Yeah, having to put down that Haagen-Dazs and walk on that treadmill, because how many of you women actually run, right? Oh, God, the work required to have to stay good-looking and thin. I just want to get fat, so I'm going to become one of these rabid, crazy intersectional feminists that pushes body positivity, and then I'll get real fat because, we've managed to change what men want, right? Oh, boy. I didn't sign up for any BS reality TV type of love, so forgive me if I'm not about to be just another contestant in the lineup. I don't know what she's talking about. No one dates honestly anymore. You mean like you, who made it pretty clear that you were pretending to be somebody else? And you just decided to give up on that and be the bitch you are? You mean that kind of honesty? So why should I care about dating at all? Well, clearly you do care. You're going through the trouble of writing this whole pathetic, whiny article, so you obviously care. And now she's at the stage of denial. What is the next step? Acceptance? I forget the order. Anger, denial, I don't know. It's all psychobabble anyway. Number 6. There's zero effort made these days, so why am I wasting my energy? I don't know. Why are you? I'm rarely impressed by guys now. Because your expectations are too high. And now it's not because of anything they did wrong. Didn't you just spend this whole article talking about douche canoes and douchey guys and how they need to step up and stand up and act better? Essentially the inference being that they need to really, really start upping their game. But that's their fault. That's you saying it's their fault. Now you're contradicting yourself. Never ceases to amaze me how women do this. They contradict themselves within a very short period of time, and they don't see it. Boy, oh boy. I think the problem with the majority of women these days is the lack of self-awareness. They don't have very much self-knowledge. So they don't know who they are. They don't know why they want what they want. Oftentimes they don't even know what they want, or if they do know what they want, they haven't sat down and really thought critically about whether or not their wants are in any way, shape, or form realistic. Yeah, you're really impressed. It's more the expectation that they're going to be a huge disappointment. So now our expectations are that she's going to be disappointed. The funny thing about expectations, be they positive or negative, people, generally speaking, will seek to fulfill them for you if they pick up on them. Like every moron before them. Wow, she got a lot of anger. Boy, she likes to throw out the pejoratives about men. So, you clearly hate men, but you expect to find a good man that would want to have anything to do with you. But you really don't know what a good man is. But why would any man in his right mind want to have anything to do with a broad that's as hostile toward men as you? Do you really think they don't pick up on that? Of course not. She thinks men are just like women and they don't have the power of discernment, right? Yeah, we're not better at logic, reason, critical thinking. No, they're emotional just like women. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're all morons. Okay, honey. I'd like to be hopeful that one guy will eventually change my mind. You would think that after all your years of life, that you'd have figured... This is so funny. You would think after all this time searching for a man, you would have figured out that the problem must be you because you're the common denominator. But no, the problem is all the men in the world. Wow. Does she see how her logic is flawed? Does she see how flawed her logic is? I guess not, right? Yeah. I'd like to be hopeful that one guy will eventually change my mind, but I have yet to come across a guy who isn't a lazy jerk. This from the woman who is essentially saying she'd rather sit at home and watch TV and not even bother dating men because she's come to the conclusion that they're all pretty much going to disappoint her and they're lazy jerks. Meanwhile, she sounds like the laziest sloth on the planet. And she resents the effort she has to put out to be in any way, shape, or form desirable to a man. But we're lazy? Who isn't a lazy jerk that just wants to get into my pants as fast as he can? What do you mean by lazy? Projection. So forgive me if I'm not swooning with charm right off the bat. He needs to earn it first. Yeah, why? Earn what? Wait. Earn your food, your used food? Woo! That's great. That's great. Look, yeah. So I want the price of a brand new Lamborghini for a used Volvo. or what was that? That Geo? that 3-cylinder piece of crap that got like 60 miles to the gallon, but looked like a fucking clown car. Yeah. I want Lamborghini prices, but I'm a Geo. Yeah. Sweetheart, I don't think you're very realistic at all. I think you should be giving your poon away. And you should just snatch up the first guy that has a halfway decent salary and is halfway decent, period. But apparently she thinks she's worth a lot more. The only problem with that, honey, is, it's not what you think that matters. It's what the men think. Unfortunately, she's made no effort to figure out how men think or what men want. She just has what she thinks men should want, and she's going to stick with that until men change and become that way. Yes. Yeah. You're going to be waiting a while, honey. Yeah, you're going to be waiting a long while. Number 7. I've been ghosted one too many times. It's a mystery why that's happening. I haven't been ghosted just once or twice. It's literally 80% of the time. We're going to check out this broad's Facebook at the end of this and see why. I bet I can guess why. When we see that chubby face, it's an old chubby face. It's literally 80% of the time I meet someone. Well, that's their right. If they don't like you, of course they're not going to get back to you. This is shocking to me. Women do this all the time. So what exactly were you doing when you were younger and you didn't like a guy? You were ghosting him. Oh, I see. It's perfectly okay for you to ghost men. All those good guys that you met, those $30,000 tchotchkes that you passed over because you thought you could do better, that there was a pot of gold over the next horizon. But that never turned out being the case. But you kept on looking anyway because feminism had deluded you into thinking that's the case. So you kept on ghosting guys until now they're ghosting you. The tables have turned, sweetheart. That's what you really don't like, right? You resent the fact that now the tables have turned and now you're the one being ghosted. Guys these days just cower and turn into ill-mannered jerks that can't formulate a simple sentence to say goodbye. Yeah, maybe they can't get away from you quick enough because you're such an objectionable human being. Did you ever think of that? Maybe they don't come up with a simple sentence because they're tired of your company and they just want to get away from you. After about a dozen, I stopped caring to go above and beyond to remain the nice girl. I'm done. So you blame them instead of blaming yourself, and now you were just justifying your own anger and feeding into it. Typical. Typical. Number 8. Boy, the rationalization, the rationalization hamster is working in overdrive here. Good God, she's got a lot of these. I'm sick of being treated like a sexual object. Well, what more do you have to offer? I never understood this. Women complaining about being sex objects, but you don't have anything to offer oftentimes except sex. Why are you complaining about being objectified as a sex object if you don't have anything more to offer but sex? I don't get it. Because why would I want to subject myself to a selfish idiot who doesn't respect me as a person and just wants my body? He's selfish because he wants sex? I mean, he's a guy. And again, most guys want sex, They want to sample the goods before they decide whether or not you're somebody they want to put any time into. You ladies, by the way, you have devalued yourselves. I mean, let's go back to your 20s, sweetheart. How quickly and easily were you giving that poon away to good-looking guys and devaluing your sexual marketplace value, stretching out that poon, smoking that weed, being in smoky clubs, sucking down the booze, prematurely aging yourself. Yeah. Further decreasing your sexual marketplace value. You're the one that devalued yourself, not us men. If you want us to see you as something more than a sexual object, why don't you try acting like something more than just a sexual object? No! That makes me accountable! Not you! I'm perfectly good at satisfying myself. Well, then what are you complaining about? Go home and satisfy away, sweetheart, and shut the fuck up. I don't need to subject myself to one more loser. Apparently you do. Apparently you do, because from what I'm reading here, you've been out on loads and loads of dates, dozens of them, and they've all ended badly. Who is most likely going to activate my bitch flag just so he can feel temporary enjoyment? No thanks. Again, you're blaming him, not you. It's no mystery to me why you're single. 9. Being a bitch feels infinitely better than being a doormat. I think you're mistaking doormat for submissiveness. Just because a woman is submissive does not mean she's a doormat. Okay? But of course you wouldn't know that, because feminism has taught you otherwise. It's taught you to shun and reject everything that comes naturally to a woman, and instead told you you need to act like a man. I refuse to let myself fall back into the trap of being a doe-eyed princess looking for her Prince Charming. I'm over it. Well, you know, the problem could be that you were expecting to get a Prince Charming and you are a can of Spam. Spam should not get Prince Charming. And the last time I checked, princes don't eat Spam. I used to be naive, and I used to wish for my fairy tale ending. Well, that's the problem. So she's telling us the real problem here. That she spent her youth with this aggrandized view of what love and relationships and a happy ending should be, as opposed to how it actually is in reality. So she had unrealistic expectations, and she had them for so long that now her 20s, 30s probably too are gone, and she's post-wall, seriously post-wall. And now she's bitter and angry because she didn't find that happiness she was promised. Yeah, but it's men's fault. Even though you just said earlier it wasn't. Oh, okay, and yet you're spending most of this article ragging on men. I used to wish for my fairy tale ending until one too many penis pictures brought me back to earth. I think you mean penises, because I'm pretty sure the majority of those penis pictures are of penises that have already been inside you. And isn't that really the problem? Too many penises, you giving it up, giving it away again and again and again, losing your ability to pair bond with a man, and viewing men as nothing more than tools, as nothing more than a commodity, as something that is essentially just an object, and yet you're surprised you get treated the same way in return. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there when it comes to dating, and I'm done getting taken down and being too weak. I don't know what that means. Bitch mode is on, and it's here to stay unless my unicorn finally falls from the sky in front of me. Yeah, because there's lots of unicorns running around, right? So unless, and by the way, you wouldn't know him if you saw him. Okay, honey? There's plenty of guys running around out there that women would just love to get with, but those guys have their pick of the fucking litter. And when you got the pick of the litter, they don't want you. But of course, she would find something wrong even with those guys. In Prince Charming, she'd find something wrong with him. Clearly. Bitch mode is on. And don't complain that you don't find anybody, because it turns out men don't like bitches, and you were always a bitch, okay? Let's face it. Modern dating did not turn you into a bitch. You were already a bitch. You were trying to hide it so you could find a man, but they saw right through your bullshit, and they only used you for what you were good for, sex, because you clearly have no virtues whatsoever. Because if you had virtues, you'd be able to find somebody virtuous that was a good guy, and you'd click. And number 10. I literally wrote out of care. It's not that I'm a complete bitch. Sure you are. Anybody that feels the need to say that, the exact opposite is true. You are a complete bitch. I can tell that just from reading this. I have a good side too. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's your real problem. You don't have a good side. You think just because you say it that makes it so. You gave some bum you left over you left over takeout from the night out with this douchey guy who paid for it, by the way, and you didn't have to pay a dime. But you have a good side, too. Yeah. What makes you good? Could you tell us? Why are you so good? You don't know. But you're good anyway. Yeah, okay. But I'm sick of giving it out freely to guys who end up walking all over me and taking advantage of my kindness. Well, wait a second. That's your choice. I mean, none of these guys made you give it up. You've heard of the third date rule. You can wait to the third date. But you do understand that you women are the ones that created this world. With your want, your need to be liberated. You've created the world where sex is pretty easy for a guy to get. So you have to step up to the mark. You need to step up to the mark. Women have just started giving it away. They've made it impossible for the majority of women to just hold out and not give it up. Because if they do, man, just going to go somewhere else. So you ladies set the rules, not us men. The world we created, you ladies would hold back and you wouldn't give it up until marriage. You're the ones that rejected marriage. You're the ones that called marriage oppressive. You're the ones that essentially seek to shame and ridicule women who want to get married, who want to be housewives. You're the ones that rejected all the traditional values and the traditional gender roles and opted for this dog-eat-dog world, as you called it. You're the ones that created this. If you'd have stuck with the way things were, you'd probably already have your wish. And deep down, I think she probably knows that. I think she does. Too late now! So, of course, now you're just going to bitch and moan because that's what a bitch does and blame everybody else except yourself. From now on, if you want me to put on pants and leave my apartment, is she like Jabba the Hutt or something? I mean, what kind of sloth are you that it's some kind of... She keeps talking about having to put on her pants. I'm imagining an apartment that just like has old, used, empty cans lying around on the floor, Tupperware, empty Tupperware that, you know, has some clinging macaroni, leftovers in it lying all over. I'm imagining roaches. I'm imagining crumbs everywhere, stained carpets. This woman, she sounds like a total slob. I had to put on pants. Oh, my God. It's the end of the world. And leave my apartment for you. Wow. Wow, she's bitter. Oh, my God. You need to show me some real respect first. First? Wait a second. I love it. It's great. This is so wonderful. Oh, this woman's suffering is making me laugh my ass off. Oh, my God. I can imagine this bitter old broad in bed taking pictures of herself with cat shit all around her head. What's that one actress? This reminds me of that actress. What was her name? What was her name? Mayim Bialik, right? The one that had that attachment parenting and she would sleep with her baby and she was sleeping with her kid until the kid was like 6, 7 years old until her husband just said enough. We haven't had sex in like 7 years because you've had the kid sleeping with us for 7 freaking years. I'm divorcing your ass. And then before you know it, she's on Twitter or something, putting a picture up of herself with cat shit all around her head as she's lying in bed with stains that looked like cat piss. And she's just all suicidal and shit. That's what this reminds me of. Mayim Bialik is that's probably who this is. Maybe it's Mayim Bialik in disguise. God damn it, I'll have to put on pants. I'll have to put on pants and clean the cat shit. Oh, my God. From now on, if you want me to put on pants and leave my apartment for you, you need to show me some real respect. I hate men. They're all douchey canoe scumbags. Douche canoe scumbags. But you need to respect me immediately. Wow. I just love the entitlement. Do as I say, but definitely don't do as I do. Yeah. If you don't, you'll be meeting the bitch soon. I have zero care left. Obviously. Well, Andrea Wesley. Let's see what a hot commodity you are. Okay, so apparently it's a big mystery who this broad is. I looked online, wasn't able to find a photo. The only thing I was able to find is that she's 32, 33 years old. As I said, post-wall, her bitterness and level of anger led me to believe she was much older, maybe past 40, mid-late 40s, but no, she's only 33, but what am I saying only? She's well past the wall, especially if she's ridden a lot of cocks, as I thought, post-wall, because broads who are in their 20s don't talk like that, right? Not generally. They don't have that level of vitriol toward men. No, they need to have treated themselves really poorly and offered themselves up as nothing more than poon, and then they're surprised that, yeah, men don't want anything else from them but that. You know, sweetheart, the problem is that you went through your 20s and now you're in your early 30s just having that one thing to offer. No virtues, no real values, just pussy. All you got to offer is that vag. And then you wonder why that's the only thing men want from you. If you're a restaurant that only sells cake, and I go in and try to order a steak, don't be surprised if the restaurant owner says, sorry, we only have cake. Okay. And then they come back every week and they only want cake. Gee, I wonder why. Could it be that that's the only thing you have to offer is cake? God. Woo, what a dopey broad. Yeah, and she's a bitch. And she thinks it's everyone else's fault. No, it's your fault, sweetheart. It's your fault for only having cake to offer and then getting angry, getting upset, getting pissed that men are just coming around wanting cake. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed that video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And let me know what you think of Andrea Wesley, whatever, in the comments section. Is it our fault? Is it men's fault that she's a bitch? Or is it because of our own unrealistic expectations? Let me know what you think in the comments section. And please, consider following me on SoundCloud. You never know what could happen to a YouTube channel these days. But I'm always posting my content on my SoundCloud channel. Also, check out my website, therealistphilosopher.com. The links to all my content pages is there. Also, if you like my content, please consider donating at therealistphilosopher.com/donate. That's therealistphilosopher.com/donate. I could really use your help. I want to expand my content. I want to move to other platforms. I want to become bigger, but I can't do that without your support, guys. So please consider donating to my channel because I get no monetization from YouTube, obviously. Also, I do a daily call-in show, and I've been doing it for about the past month now. But I'm changing the time now. It's going to be in the evenings instead of in the morning. So from 7 to 8 p.m. New York City time, Monday to Friday, that's when my call-in show is. You can find that on my page as well. You also find a link to the call-in show itself in the description. You can call in, you can Skype. If you got a cell phone and you're in the United States, you probably have unlimited minutes within the continental United States, so you can call in if you're not at home, or if you're at home, you can use Skype. It's very convenient, very easy. Call in. Let me know what you think about whatever subject I'm discussing at the time, or if you'd like to talk a little more, get my philosophical insight, views on a certain issue you might be having, a certain problem that you have and you might want to get my input on, email me beforehand at admin@therealistphilosopher.com. That's ADMIN, admin@therealistphilosopher.com. Of course, you can call in during the show, too, and ask my view on something as well. But if you want to get a little more serious and in-depth, where I can devote an entire show or part of a show to your problem, it's probably better to give me a little backstory first and email me. And that's it. Again, please like, subscribe. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.